And then one day I was just like, I just need to put it together. Like, what do I love to do? I love to sing, I love production, I love to act, I love to edit. I like people. The people is my biggest thing. So out comes ARTImotions, and it is designed to embody all of that, and specifically target entertainment, which is what we do.
What is it? What's your power
A-Town. At Power 92, I was just known as A-Town. Perk D came later.
Oh, right. That's what Certified Diamond, right?
Yeah, that's what Certified Diamond.
Okay. See,
So,
I'm trying.
She studied. That's what it is. I was born in Germany. Yes. I came over when I was 3.
Guten Tag.
Yes, Guten Tag. And I am really trying to be the person that I wanted to be when I was like 7. Look at you looking like my auntie.
What my mama said.
Yeah, you.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Business Acumen with Cross Cultural Talks. I am your host, Robinette Cross, and today I have with me the founder of ARTImotion, a musician, just a talented spirit, and by the way, he is my first cousin, y'all. Mr. Aaron Person. Aaron, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, inviting me. You love me. That's what it is.
I really do.
That's true.
That's called first cousin.
Yeah.
First cousin. So, Aaron, I'll tell you a couple of reasons why I invited you on this show. Okay. First off, right, because we're family, but then you can't invite all family everywhere. So I invited you on the show because I know that you've just been really busy doing the thing that you believe you're designed to do. And recently you started a company called ARTImotion. Yeah. You are a musician, so you're a singer, and then you do some really kind of unique, innovative things with your artistic expression, your public artistic expression. So I wanted you to come on and share those components with the people and anything else you want to talk about.
That's great. And thank you again for having me. Yeah, I am really trying to be the person that I wanted to be when I was like 7. So, growing up in our family, we have a lot of talent, and it just kind of stays under the radar because no one does anything with it. So, definitely starting this company has been a huge step out on faith, kind of sort of puts things in perspective for yourself to let you know what you're really made of. Are you just talking that you want to do these things, or are you really going to do something about it? So that's probably one of my biggest leaps, but I'm very proud of it. I had a lot of help along the way. I'm very appreciative and humble, but it's really exciting for me right now. Really exciting. So
that's good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I guess tell the people a little bit about yourself. Where were you? I think this is really fun. Where were you born?
Lord Jesus.
Yeah, call on the Lord. So where were you born? And then where did we grow up? Okay. And then where you went to school and everything.
Okay, cool. So I was born in Germany. Yes, I came over when I was 3.
Guten Tag.
And I pretty much went to high school at Henrico High. Warriors.
That's right.
So that means the real Granny Grow. And I graduated there. For a while, I started off actually not even anywhere in this lane of entertainment, even though it was in my heart to do since I was little. Used to sing at Gilmer Park Elementary. Actually had an offer to go to Richmond Boys Choir. And
really?
Yes, did. Mom flattened that deal.
Really?
She took one look at my grades and was like, yeah, you're not doing none of that. So that's how that went.
Well.
Yeah, education is important. We're going to discuss that later, but education is key. But I, been doing that pretty much most of my life. After I graduated, I started cooking and was really into cooking, which I do a very good job of cooking, actually.
You went to culinary school?
I did. Started out going to culinary school. Somewhere along the lines, I was like, I don't think I'm about this life. Like, I don't think I can go to work at 5 a.m. and get off at like 1 a.m. and then do it again and work weekends nonstop. Yeah. So just didn't seem, and it didn't seem to fit after a while. It just seemed something I like to do versus something I, love to do. Did some research, discovered mass communications, and was like, oh, this is like everything I love to do right here. Plus some extra I didn't even know I love to do. So Went to Virginia State. Graduated with my BA in mass communications. Focused in radio and television. Worked for 2 radio stations. It's like Right Nose Radio 1, Power 92, 105.7, 104.7. So all of those. And I stayed there for about, I think, 9 years. I think.
Right, you were on the street team for Power 92.
Yeah.
Right? Perp D. What is it? What's your Power 92 name?
At Power 92, I was just known as A-Town. Perp D came later.
Oh, right. That's
But,
what Certified Diamond, right?
Yeah, that's what Certified Diamond.
Okay. See,
So
I'm trying.
She studied. That's what it is. So jumped on the street team around all these stars. I've met a lot of stars. I've been in a lot of rooms. I've been on a lot of stages. Pretty much ran in that lane. Switched radio stations after about like 8 or 9 years, and went to Summit Media. It used to be Cox Media, pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Grew there. Did a lot more promotions. A lot more for background, which you don't know, commercials are edited and cut, so they're called a production. Did a lot more production. Actually got into videography there too, so I did a lot. And then one day I was just like, I just need to put it together. Like, what do I love to do? I love to sing, I love production, I love to act, I love to edit. I like people. The people is my biggest thing. So out comes ARTImotions, and it is designed to embody all of that, and specifically target entertainment, which is what we do. So I've almost completely learned to merge everything together. It's close. The music is kind of like touch and go, but yeah, that's where we're at with that.
Good. So Art in Motion, essentially you're doing, because I know I've seen you do weddings and you do like big events.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're merging your videography with your singing, with your planning. Are you like an event planner too?
Pretty much.
And you started it last year, is that right?
Technically, I started a year before last,
Okay.
but I didn't have a business then. And honestly, I was still just jumping in, the lukewarm water, trying to see what was going on and if I could do it and build up encouragement. And like I said, a lot of help, a lot of faith. People back me.
Yeah.
And eventually I was just like, I got to back myself. So we prayed on it and took some risks, and here we are.
That's fantastic, Aaron. That really is good. So are you still working during the day while you're working on your business as well?
Oh yes, the hustle doesn't stop. I have a full-time gig. I work at Anthem. So that's going and supplying money to continue to get all the background preliminary stuff taken care of. So
right.
Business costs money. You got to have a lead-in capital. And a lot of times, it starts really, really small. So people always, especially when you're talking about any entrepreneurial business, you're putting your own money into it.
Yes.
So you definitely can't just be like, some people got it like that. I don't. But some people are like, I'm done. It's a wrap. But I do plan to go that route, hopefully by the end of the year, to be honest. But
that's so exciting. I
am still working right now.
That's okay. That's okay. A lot of people, when they start businesses, right? I'm a business owner and I still work. And that's one thing that you have to do. One of the things that Carlos Vieira, one of the first Titans that we interviewed, he said,
I know Carlos.
And he's also known as a line dance friend. So I think that your business partner may know him as well, perhaps. But one of the things he said was basically, if you're not abruptly pushed out, be smart with your transition.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to feed your business. You have to be able to feed your vision. So you're doing exactly what you should be doing. And that's just another note of reinforcement. Don't just up and quit your job. And if you have no money,
true, then
you'll just have no money.
You'll be out back. And that's the biggest thing. You gotta be smart about it. You can't it's good to have ambition, and it's good to be able to do it. And don't get me wrong, some people are able to do that. Some people know how specifically to grind for themselves.
Right.
And they literally know how they can do without. They have ways to do that. They have people backing them already. Financially is the biggest thing. So they can step out on faith and say, I'm going to do this. Wives doing home businesses, or husbands making a change, expeditiously, or just me, if I decided to go back home and continue to live with mom for forever, she would never have a problem with that.
No, I don't think she would.
Yeah, she loves. I said, no, she doesn't. Me and Jay, but you know, it's I can't.
How is it going so far?
It is growing exponentially, which I'm very happy
Good.
about. Just added another component officially last month, which is a photo booth. So
Really? I love photo booths.
and I actually am taking an extra step on my photo booth to, in a sense, customize them. So I can pretty much design a photo booth however you would really want to do it. So
Cool.
word of mouth is probably the other biggest form of business that you can get. Like anybody refer, which is why your word is key as well. You have to stick by what you say. You know, you have to do good business.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's bound to come back to you. I promise you, it is. You may not think it is. You may not know it is. It's going to come back on you one way or the other. And, you know, you want people to believe in you and your business when you tell them you do something and that you can do something versus them having to watch their backs 24/7. So
I also wanted to touch on, because you mentioned when we were just talking about making sure that I got your names right, your entertainment names right, right? Because you love music, and one thing that Aaron didn't tell you is that when we were at Henrico High School, then we were both in the marching band, but he ended up being one of our show majors, one of the first show majors that the band had, actually. And so a show major is a bit different from a drum major, and that's the first time I really saw. I mean, we always knew you and Julian were a tad bit more
than what we had, what we showed.
A little bit, you know, because you know, everybody in our family was like, look at them boys. But especially when they first came from Germany, nobody knew what they were saying, right? Because they were speaking German. So when we were sneezing and they were like Gesundheit, everybody looked at them like, what are you people talking about? Because we're 4 years old. We'd never heard German before, right? And so they were
segregated at 4. It's just so.
Yeah, they were segregated because we didn't know nothing about them. They just popped up, these two boys, fresh off the plane, with an aunt that we had never really seen before, right? We knew who she was. Like, we knew we had to respect Aunt Ronnie because she was our aunt. But we didn't have to give them no respect. We the same age and they didn't know how to speak English.
So wrong. We had no respect.
Yeah, nevertheless.
What's the love?
We grew to love you, right? So,
yes,
right, he grew to be one of my most favorite cousins.
Yes.
And so from that, like, I always saw that you and Julian, but especially you, had a different type of expressive styles. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about how you segued into one of your singing group, right? Do you still have that?
No, Certified Diamond. We collectively dismantled that in 2015.
Oh.
I am still singing, and pretty much, yes. Anything that I do is going under the umbrella of ARTImotions. It's an LLC, so I'm able to spread it out and to a couple of different things.
Good. Right.
So I sung for quite a few different groups, actually. I was in a rap R&B group, and then before that, I was singing just individually. It was a really hard transition because when you're singing, when I was younger, everything was you got to get a deal, you got to do this, you got to make yourself, you know, approachable, you got to go out and hunt that down, you got to wait at executives' offices and, you know, try out and just so many different things, get your CD somewhere, and it was just too hard to do on your own. As an independent artist, there's so many things that block you, including the industry. They will block you because they want to push other people through. Unless they discover you, unless they're willing to take a chance on you, they're going to block you. And most of them won't even touch you unless you have a pretty good following in your city or any city at all. They want to know that you already have a following and mostly that you're already making your own money before they'll take a chance on you. Most people don't know that. They think that you can be the best rapper in life, but if you have no following and you have no way of promoting yourself, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know it. Because singing doesn't come, it comes natural, but between sinuses and, oh Lord Jesus, between sinuses and allergies and drainage 24/7, Lord, and before I knew how to control my voice and sing from a diaphragm, it was a struggle. And it's hard to do something you really love to do, but don't know how to do it. It's the hardest thing to do. So vocal lessons came from those couple groups. Ventured into Certified Diamond, found some really good guys who love to sing and dance just as much as I did. I found them when I was teaching at University of Richmond, actually dancing. So teaching their hip hop squad.
Really?
Yep. Then they came in, changed the whole game. I was due to stop, I guess, teaching with University of Richmond that year, so we started Certified Diamond. Took a lot of hustle. So I went from being completely on my own to different groups. in like a 12-year span, jumping back to a group, finally feeling a home, completely back to day one. So it is a hard transition to be an artist. Not only is your personal life an issue, it's also how are you going to break into this industry. Now with internet, you honestly, if you do it correctly, you really don't need a record label. The only thing you need a label for is massive, which is good. Not saying you don't. Definitely take the deal. But if the only reason you really need them for is massive expansion and to get you in places you can't. So if there is a music festival that only top liners get to, you're going to have to be with a label to do that, or very well known, or won a competition or something in order to actually get on that headline with them at any point in time. So they can get you indoors. You can't necessarily land on your own as an independent artist. But outside of that, which should be your goal, if you just want to do what you love to live, perfectly can do that without a label. But it's something you got to know, and it's something that took a lot of years for me to learn. So.
That's good though. And so in your transition, right, you found something that was good and worked well for you. So as you're thinking forward, as you're thinking ahead, there are some other things I know that are very near and dear to your heart. So what are some of the other things in addition to music and art that are near and dear to your heart? Maybe something dealing with the community or social justice. What are some of those things?
Oh yeah, to be honest, one of the things I've always been scared of, like my whole life, is being homeless. Don't know why, but you know, when I was young, Mom and Jay and I used to take the bus to go everywhere at first before Mom had her car. And literally, I would see these people just sleeping on the street.
Right.
Like you're laying, like you're staying here on the street. And I was like, wow, it just hit me. And I used to ask Mom all the time. I was like, Mom, why does he have somewhere to go? And so, not really a question she could answer. She did her best as a mother. You know, things happen. People have to deal with these things. And unfortunately, this is just what's going on for him. Want to take him home, want to give him some food, want to help out. But I mean, that's it, and it's always been that way every time I see a homeless person. So that in itself is really something that bothers me. So that's a big thing that I worry about. Seeing people in need, cancer is another big one. You know,
because it runs in our family. Yeah.
Right. And so, to be completely honest, I really would love to do anything that can help people, period.
We live in one of the richest countries. We are part of the G7, and which used to be the G8, but Russia left.
And good riddance.
But Russia left a while ago, and so we live in one of the richest countries in all the world. And the fact that there are still so many homeless people in our immediate vicinity in this country is something that is shameful, and is something that as citizens we have to do a better job of making sure that we provide a remedy to that.
I agree.
Yeah, so I applaud you for wanting to do that.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about your legacy, Aaron, though, right, because we're still yet young, but when you're thinking about your legacy, when we're coming to the end of our journey on Earth, what are some of the things that you want to be remembered for?
You know, that is a very great and loaded question. And to be completely honest, I've really been thinking about that lately, and thinking about it very, very in depthly. Just because I feel like now at the time that I am, the business, having I would say definitely a lot more of a wealth of knowledge now than I did when I was in college or high school. You know, I've lived. I've done some things, as the old people say,
No, Jesus.
Yeah, as the old people say, live a little longer. Isn't that what they say? But now it's just like, I feel like at this point in time, and people don't think about it, people honestly go a lot of years, 10, 20, and don't even really just think about what they would want to leave behind, honestly, until, which I applaud women, because I think women definitely step into this thing way sooner than men do. But children make you think differently. Children make you want to leave more of a legacy, take care, teach them how things are supposed to do. So leaving behind a child is generally most people's legacy. I don't have kids. And I applaud everybody that does, including the men that step up and are real fathers for their children. Not to say that men, any shot at any other man that's trying to work it out with a baby mom. But it's a blessing, but it's also a very big responsibility that I haven't had to step into. So outside of not having a child, I really don't know exactly what that's going to be. You know, I would love to be able to, two things I've always wanted to do. With music, I've always wanted to leave a classic song. Mm-hmm. And when I say classic, I ain't necessarily talking about a genre, but classic meaning it's always going to remember. So there are a number of different genres that people remember those songs from that genre because they remember. Like, it's something that is great. My ultimate goal as an artist is to be able to do at least one of those. So if I never do it, but I always strive for it, I'm still going to be proud of myself. But at the same time, that to me is legendary. You do that. You do Stevie Wonder work. You do Aretha Franklin work. You know, you do Bon Jovi work. You know, these things like that, and different, it spans across time. And that right there is a legacy to me. So that is music side. Personally and individually, as long as y'all, my families, and then just as long as anybody who really interacts with me, either on a regular basis or one time in their life or just for a very specific amount of time, if I can leave you with the impression of who I really am, who I want to be, even if I'm not that person yet, but who I'm striving to be, that is a sufficient legacy to me. I want people to know who I am and what I stood for and what I stand for and what's really in my heart. So, you know, I feel like God has took me to a specific, he has blessed me enough to be able to do that. So now it's just my job to make it shine through. So as terms of legacy, that's pretty much what I want to leave. Still working on how that happens, but it's what I want. To me, that would be a legacy worth leaving.
That's good stuff. All right, so music, making sure you have something that is timeless.
Yes.
Leaving something that is timeless, that crosses genres, that's a staple.
Yes.
And then making sure that your actions speak for themselves in both the public and the private realm.
Yes.
What is something that you have done in addition to ARTImotions of which you are most proud to this point?
Oh, that's a big one. I didn't think about
Well,
that.
I tend to ask big questions.
Yeah.
It's an interview.
On the fly, yeah.
It's not on the fly. I sent them to you.
Okay, that probably
Just
happened
saying
too.
you didn't read it.
I skimmed it.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, something I'm most proud of. I don't know. I think I never really look at things that I do on a major scale per se, but I would have to say probably out of all things, it's probably three things that stand out that I really feel like I've accomplished, I've really done. And honestly, that is literally being able to make my own music independently, like with no one else's help, except for, of course, people that I hired to do like the ins and outs of things that I needed. But all me. So my first EP, which is online in stores, I literally got a interface for it, and I set it up online in stores through Apple, through Google Play, through Amazon Music. Like, these are, in a sense, giants of like online retail for music. And I didn't know how to even start doing that. I didn't know how to do a press release. I didn't know how to go through music. I didn't know I needed to get it mastered. So like going through all the things that I did and literally putting the pieces together myself, not having anybody else do it, I felt really proud of that moment. So that was definitely one. The business is another. So that's a very more recent one. But
that's so big.
Yeah, absolutely. And most people would say college graduation. I actually don't feel like that because I feel like I have more to learn. So it was a stepping stone. But I think probably the other biggest thing is I like the fact that I feel like I can be there for family. Mom in particular, because now she has a lot of issues and she's had a lot of issues. So just being the person that's been able to be there. And then, shout out to my brother, him too. He came in and definitely took a lot of responsibility. And it just seemed like right timing too, because right when I fluctuated and had to do a bunch of stuff, he was right there. So
Good.
I'm just very proud that I could be there for, in a sense, the same way all of our mothers, most of our mothers, are there for us.
Right.
The new project is going to be called I Dedicate. It is literally a mashup of dedications for specific songs that groomed me to be an R&B artist when I was younger, and kind of also some of them who've lasted through the times that we remember in the realm of R&B music. So,
Good. Who are some of your biggest inspirations? Because you have actually talked a bit about, you've mentioned a few people. You mentioned Stevie, and you're talking about now that I Dedicate is an homage almost, right, of some of the people who have impacted your creative. So who are some of those people who have impacted you?
It is so many to name.
Well, just a few.
Yeah, we'll go with a few. Obviously, I start with the king, which is Michael Jackson. So he's among the elite. I really feel like there is no performer. There is no performer like MJ, because there's no other MJ. There are definitely a lot of people now that it's different. So it's different dance time, but just to compare to the longevity of him and then the consistency, it's just crazy. And then he did it literally till he died. That was crazy. And God is greatness. So I got to start with MJ. I actually like a lot of male R&B groups, so there's Boys to Men. So this group was a lot of groups, but you guys all know from the movie and stuff. But honestly, New Edition is
of course, yes,
big deal. And so solo artists actually, Joe was a big artist as far as on the R&B side. Avant was a big artist on the R&B side. Ladies, you got Lauryn Hill. More recently in high school, you had Jill Scott. The lady groups like SWV, and Escape. I mean, classic R&B people. Big shouts out another guru, which I feel like probably is, as far as R&B goes, he probably still holds the title, even though a lot's going on with him in his life, and lately it's simmered down. But R. Kelly, hands down, I can't say, I don't care what he's done, I can never take tracks from R. Kelly. Boy he's a mastermind. His mind and the way he thought, he literally changed how R&B was done. So, gotta give it to him. But those are a few of the greats, and you'll hear some of those float around in the music and stuff. And then, of course, you have some of the newer artists when I was getting into college and stuff. But they don't need to be mentioned because they're not the greats.
They just make the great music.
A lot of good tracks, but they ain't make the great.
They made good, not great.
Yeah. I got one okay, so that means my album's it should be good.
It better be.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm family now, I'm going to tell you.
Yes, and I need it.
I'm going to tell you. You always need somebody to tell you the truth.
You do need people to tell you the truth, because they are the ones that have to listen to your music. You make your music, but at the same time, you need an audience. So if no one is liking it, not like some people here, other people's there, but if no one really is liking it, you can't get somebody to really say good job and tell you how I knew I did a good job with my music when I played for my mom and she cried, versus telling me, oh, I don't like that part. Oh, you could do this better. Oh, it was okay. The day that I got her, I played a track for her and sung it, and then or was practicing and then actually played her the track and she cried. Oh, that's my biggest critic right there. I nailed that one down. And couldn't nobody tell me nothing about that song. I was like, this is my song. I did this. Yes, it's the best. It's the best. It really wasn't necessarily the best, but it was the best that day to me, because my mom gave it super thumbs up, and she is extremely hard to prove. These are singers in my family. You got to nail it with them. You can't half-step it. You got to nail it with them. Because if you don't, they're going to definitely let you know. So
that's also true. All right, so we were also talking about, though, right, three things of which you were most proud. So we spoke about one, and that's what led us into the discussion of your EP.
Yeah.
Yes. And the big project that's coming up, I Dedicate.
Yeah.
And then the second thing of which you're most proud is ARTImotions.
Yeah.
And the third one is that you're able to be a supportive son. You're able to honor your mother in the manner in which she deserves. But the way that you two are able to honor your parents and to demonstrate to other people that you honor your parents, that you honor your moms, and the relationship that you have with your mom is something that's so special that I just have to make sure that I take the time, because I didn't want to miss that. That third thing, I was like, no, we got to come back to it, because I don't really think that in our family we applaud that enough. And I also don't think that in our society we applaud that enough.
Yeah, true.
but the Bible says that you must do it.
Yeah, true.
And the fact that you are doing what God has told you to do as it pertains to your mother is something that is worthy of applause and recognition. So I don't want to skate by it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you what else was coming up, but you just told us you got a big EP. You got so many events coming up. So if the people want to contact you, particularly for ARTImotions, then how can they get in touch with you, Aaron?
Oh, absolutely. You just go online to ARTImotions.com. Literally, that's it. ARTImotions.com. I have a website, has literally all my contact information from top to bottom. And if you can do an inquiry on the site, it'll send it directly to me. If you have a problem with that or something goes wrong, you can reach out to me at artimotions@gmail.com, which is the same thing, spelled the same way, ARTIMOTIONS@gmail.com. For any businesses, I mean, we do literally all events. Like, so the team, specifically, their packages, but there is a makeup artist, there is a photographer, there are 3 DJs, 2 main, 1 in a sense of backup, and like I said, and then there's me. I MC, I do same day coordination for weddings, and now I'm doing partial planning, moving into full planning very, very soon. So pretty much we hold the gamut. I'm actually, I do work with a florist as well, so I have a florist on the team, and a caterer actually. So a lot of partners, like you said, networking is key, and these partners have been regal to me, especially DJ Zoe, who's my partner. He couldn't be here today to sit in, but he's the owner of Good Times Entertainment, and literally he has a story from coming from, you know, in a sense, nothing to where he is with his business as well. It's amazing, and like I said, we push each other, and pretty much that's what's going on. If you actually need the artist side of things, you can reach out to me. I am on social media as ATownPurpD. So that's literally as ATOWN, no space, PURPD. So pretty much you can find, if you even Google me, I'll pop up as ATownPurpD. So I'm pretty much on all social media platforms as ATownPurpD as an artist. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, I'm on Snapchat. I actually have a Pinterest account. Don't really care from a Pinterest account. But you know, you kind of got to have these things. But outside of that, again, if that doesn't pan out for artistry or you want a dedication, the site doesn't have it up yet, but there will be, which is what I was saying, merging the music in. You will see there will be a way to actually hire for a specific special dedication. So, in instance, if it's somebody's birthday, I just had a twins' birthday party. I sang happy birthday to the twins. Everybody seemed to like it, so went over very well. I've done dedications for like a passing, so somebody wanted a special song sung, so I went out and sung for that. So I'm really trying to push that. That's going to be the highlight of probably the summer, pushing that out because it will help the EP spread a little bit more. So yeah, that's the goal. Again, just new innovative ideas and continue to push myself to different levels. So we're rolling.
They're rolling, and so don't let them roll right past you. So reach out and make sure that you are contacting. I thank you so much again for joining us today. Guys, be sure to tune in to Business Acumen with Cross Cultural Talk. Same time, same place next week, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. Go, and don't forget to be great on purpose. God bless you.
See you later.